Hey guys, Buffalo here. Today we're out shooting the Ruger 1022 semi-automatic rifle. This gun is far and away the most requested gun I've gotten to do videos on. Ever since I've been putting videos on YouTube, people's asked me to do a video on this gun, which just goes to show how popular they are. And they are one of the most popular, if not the most popular 22 rifle on the market. Now I got this one for Christmas from my wife about 12 years ago, and it came with two of these 10 round flush fitting magazines, which are good for if you do any shooting off of a bench. They're not in the way. If you're sighting in using a sight vise, you know it's up and out of the way. But if you want to have some real fun once you're sighted in, pick you up a couple of these Ruger BX25 magazines. They're 25 round and they work great. They are from the factory, so they're made just for this gun. Let's shoot it a little bit. Okay, now most of you guys that's been shooting a while, y'all already know this stuff, but if you're out there looking at your first 22 rifle and trying to decide what to get, I'll tell you a few reasons why I think this gun is so popular. First reason being, this gun feels like a full-size rifle. When you pick it up and shoot it, it feels like a full-size gun. It don't feel like a little rinky-dink toy gun or a kid's rifle. Now the reason that is this gun is based off of Ruger's centerfire rifles that came before this, namely the 44 Magnum. Now another reason this gun is so popular is just aftermarket customization possibilities. The aftermarket parts for this gun are just endless. Everything from any kind of stock you can imagine. You can go with a tactical stock, folding stock, laminated, anything you want. Barrels, there's tons of them. You can even get receivers. You can get any part in this gun. You could build this rifle and it not have a Ruger factory part in it. There's that much aftermarket out there for it, and that makes it real popular because everybody wants their own gun to be customized to them, and you make a few changes and you feel like that gun is yours now. And the last thing I would mention is because it does have the removable magazine, the flush fitting rotary design is it's real popular. A lot of the guns, the magazine sticks out, and if you're trying to sight in, or you've got your gun in a sight vise setting your scope or whatever you're doing with it, that'll stick out and get in the way. These fit flush. A lot of people like it. And of course you got the option to get a bigger magazine to put in there, which you don't have with some of the tube fed guns. Not knocking the tube fed design, I like it real well too, but most people prefer the box magazine from what I've encountered. Now this rifle here you're looking at is bone stock. The only thing I've done to it, of course, I've added this sling to it, but the only thing I've done to the gun itself, I changed the trigger hammer from the stock hammer to the Volkortsen trigger hammer they make for this gun. And the reason I did that is when I took this gun out and shot it for the first time, when I went to squeeze that first round off, I actually thought the gun was on safety. The trigger pull was so heavy. And on the scale, when I got home, it measured about 8.5 pounds on the trigger pull, which is kind of ridiculous for a 22 rifle. So I done some research and I looked it up, and turns out you could just change that hammer and bring it down. And after I changed the hammer, I'm pulling about 3.5 pounds now, and it breaks really clean and crisp. I really like it. I'm glad I made that change to it. Now the gun does come with options to mount a rail here where you can mount your scope. Now it comes with the dovetail, the 3/8 inch dovetail groove for a standard 22 rings, but you can also purchase Weaver style bases to put on here. Pretty handy. And the sights on this gun are fairly good. They're not the best in the world, but they're okay. The back one is adjustable for your elevation. You can drift it left or right for your windage. Like I say, they're not the greatest, but they're pretty good. They get the job done. Now I did have a scope on here for a while, But I've always enjoyed shooting open sights better than a scope. Now, I wouldn't recommend a .22 rifle for wild boar hunting, but for smaller game it does just fine.